Sun in 7th house. Sun in 7th house, a lot of people would not even know that this is a placement which is actually malefic. If you have this placement and you've been having problems with your relationships, I am sure you would have looked everywhere in the chart but where your sun is placed. And I think it is never emphasized enough that sun, although it's a noble planet, it's the Sthir Atma Karaka for everybody. Sun is the representative of the soul, king of the solar system, sun is Surya Narayan and everything. Sun is still a malefic planet. It has malefic influences. You should check out the video that I made about is an exalted sun really lucky? Over there I talk about how the malefic nature of the sun comes from the element of sacrifice. Sun is the king, therefore the sun has to make sacrifices. There's a lot at stake, when you are that powerful. When you have sun in the 7th house, it's not the best placement to have balance in relationships, because a king, a leader, should be able to stand on his own, should be able to be solitary if required. Yes, he has to get things done, he has to work with his ministers, his court, and etc., etc. But as a leader, your confidence should be derived just from you being yourself. That is it. From you believing completely in your soul's path, in your soul purpose, in your journey, in what you do and how you do it. But when the sun is in the 7th house, there is a compromise on the natural values of the sun, because the individual values relationships more than anything else. The individual is happiest when they are surrounded by people. And so these people can tend to be people pleasers. And at the same time, what this can do is that this can lead to situations where you have to sacrifice important relationships in your life. That can be the problem that you face. Often what happens is, in terms of the sun, when we're looking at the chart, we don't look at all as per the house placement. We're just too focused on what sign the sun is sitting in. Okay, so you have sun in Cancer, you have sun in Leo, that's what the horoscopes, etc., everything's based on. But the actual placement in the chart means a lot, because let's say you have sun in the 7th house. This means that you were born around sunset, because the sun was setting in the west when you were born. West direction is the direction that corresponds to the 7th house. So it has to be somewhere in the chart, that's definitely there, but this is a naturally debilitated placement for the sun, because the 7th house corresponds to the natural sign of Libra, which is ruled by Venus. This is a very collaborative sign. This is a sign of keeping the peace, maintaining the harmony, getting along with others. Sun's nature, the nature of your soul, the nature of your soul purpose, is very individualistic. And in realizing that higher goal, higher purpose, you often have to make sacrifices. With this placement, you are not as likely to want to do that. With this placement, it is sometimes tough for you to stand up for yourself, stand up for what you want, stand up for what you require, stand up for what you know you need to do. This is on the one hand. On the other hand, also what happens is, quite often you are in relationships which are way past their, expiry date, and you are needlessly trying to prove to everybody that, look, I'm right, you see, what I said was right. Nobody cares. You're stuck in the wrong relationship. If you have to constantly reiterate that you are right, if you have to constantly reiterate that, you have everybody's best interest in mind, it's a useless situation that you've, hemmed yourself into. Get out of it. But that individualism is a little bit missing, because as soon as you get out of relationships, you begin to feel lonely. You begin to feel not the best, because this is where, you feel the happiest when you're working with people. Now, obviously, if you've been born with this placement, then there must be a purpose for it. There must be a reason that you have this placement, no matter how tricky it is. And the purpose, in terms of your life purpose with the sun in 7th house, is that in this lifetime, your soul has chosen to find its happiness, to find growth, to shine through building partnerships, through sustaining relationships. You have come here this time around to put the needs of others above your own needs. You are supposed to help others realize their goals, their ambitions, their spiritual purpose, their desires. And it's not that in doing that you will move away from your spiritual purpose. No. This is what you have come here to do. This is what will give you the most satisfaction and recognition also. Okay, in being less individualistic and more collaborative. That's the lesson that you have to master in this lifetime. So the best thing to understand, the best solution for this placement is to be in a work role where you are constantly meeting lots of new people. You will see a lot of artists, a lot of businessmen also, with this placement. Not businessmen, not entrepreneurs. There's a difference, right? Businessmen expand on what's already there. Entrepreneurs are pioneering in nature. So this can make you a great business person. Somebody like an accountant also, or a lawyer. In fact, even these kind of placements can work out very well. But all in all, there will be a lot of disappointment that you have to face when, in terms of relationships in your life. That's because since it's in a naturally debilitated position, irrespective of whatever Rashi is here, you will have to, in order to keep the peace, in order to maintain relationships, you will quite often have to compromise on some of your values. You will quite often find yourself having to sacrifice on things that make you happy. And that will just be required of you, maybe in terms of business partnerships, maybe in terms of marriage, maybe in terms of relationships. Okay. So sun in 7th house is a tough placement when it comes to relationships, when it comes to partnerships. But where this placement can shine for you, if you were to get into anything that necessitates you constantly having to meet new people, like a PR agent, something of that sort. Okay, maybe even a journalist. That can also be great. Okay, but just keep in mind that this probably is going to play out better as you age in life. As you begin to mature and discover your self-worth and discover that you are truly complete within yourself. You don't really need anybody. As you realize this placement, your life, your confidence, all matters of relationships are going to improve. Obviously, conjunctions, nakshatra placements, aspects, they can change this placement to quite a degree. Okay, but in terms of understanding what this placement is about, I think this should suffice. Okay, so if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel so that you can stay abreast of all the wonderful content that I post here. I post a variety of content. Check it out. Push the bell icon so that you can be notified every single time I post. And if you want a personal session with me, check out the link in the description box. It'll take you to my website. You'll have to fill a form. Once I get the form, I review it. I'll give you an appointment and we can proceed further. Okay, take care. Ariom.